In this course, we can't cover all of the various things that creative people are doing in the digital age to sort of innovate in new ways, but I did want to discuss a few of them. And one really important trend is the sort of entrepreneurialism of musicians. A lot of musicians are sort of taking their careers into their own hands and making things happen for themselves outside of the mainstream. If you decide to work outside of the mainstream music industry and take control of your own career as a musician, you have to be prepared to work very, very hard. If things go well, people will start to want to work with you and help you out, and it can happen on your own terms. The reward can be a career that doesn't hinge on the personal taste of one powerful executive or whether or not you've had a recent radio hit. There are a lot of things an artist can do to get the ball rolling. This do-it-yourself approach is not new. Throughout history, plenty of musicians have worked outside the mainstream. Punk and indie rock bands have extolled the virtues of avoiding doing business with large corporations since at least the 1970s. Heavy metal musicians, EDM musicians, and Americana musicians are examples of genres that have strong fan support and are able to sort of make a go of it in this kind of way. The DIY approach allows musicians to hang on to their creative freedom and make a bit of a living, either partly or entirely outside of the mainstream of music. There are, however, limits to how far you can go all by yourself. If things go well and your audience grows, you will eventually need some help with the business side of things. And in some cases, you may decide to hire professional business people only for specific challenges or projects. Maybe you have a day-to-day manager that works with you on a temporary basis, or you hire a publicist just for a few months when you have a new record that comes out. One of the best things that a musician can do to get the ball rolling with this DIY approach to their career is to book themselves shows. Play shows as often as possible in as many places as possible. Gigs are where you meet other musicians, it's where you get to know club owners in your particular community, and it's where you meet fans, the first people really, who start to appreciate you and the music that you make. Gigs are where managers and label people and booking agents are going to come out and check you out and see if they can imagine a world where they help you or connect you in some way. Most importantly, gigs are where musicians learn how to play well. Nearly all successful musicians will say that no matter how many music lessons you've had or how much time you've spent practicing, the only way to learn how to communicate with an audience is by going out there on the stage and trying to communicate with an audience. In order to get the ball rolling with booking your own gigs, it's important to do things like putting together an electronic press kit. You can contact venues on your own or ask a friend to do it for you. Another thing you can do is volunteer to play for free on the side for a little while, either opening for another band that you admire locally, or you can offer to be a sideman for a musician that you admire for free, until you get your foot in the door. You could try to convince a friend who has a really nice house to host a house concert and get, if there are no venues in town that want to book you, you can sort of create your own venue. There are a lot of ways to get started.